greatest things also about Loudoun County, and I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but just every tasting room is so incredibly different, but the general gist behind everybody is education out here. Educating the consumer on not having wine be something that's unapproachable, something that it's easy to learn, and everybody has to start out somewhere.
I find that to be one of the most important thing is to relate with the customers is the more people learn about wine and how to use it with food and how to drink it at the right temperatures. When they learn more, they enjoy it more. They get a better experience, and then they want to incorporate it more into their lives.
I heard the other day that somebody had visited 5 or 6 different wineries. We were the last one, and across the board, they visited other areas of Virginia where there's wine trails, and they said that hands down the Loudoun County wine trail was the friendliest wine trail they'd been on, which was impressive to hear. And I keep hearing that over and over again, which is it's just awesome.
I think it's a fun experience for people just because it's a great way to get out with your family for not too great of an expense, and you learn something that you'll always use when they do food and wine pairings. And they say, oh, it tastes much better when I have this red wine with a steak, or if I have this white wine with this piece of cheese. It's very interesting for people when they learn these things. It becomes a new experience, a new educational experience that they can take with them.
Well, the greatest part about the wineries out here too, we're constantly doing events, whether it's live music on the weekends or hay rides for the kids or, you know, pumpkin picking, whatever it is. There's always something to do out at the wineries in Loudoun County.
Tasting wine and being out in wine country is a year-round experience too. I mean, you can come out here in the wintertime and take a look at the countryside during the winter, and then, you know, summertime has a whole nother thing to offer. But it is something you can do year-round, and folks have been taking advantage of that.
You know, there are too many wineries in Loudoun County to hit more than probably 3 or 4 or 5. But if you have a plan, especially with a group of friends, and include a meal and a beginning time and an ending time, and approximately how much time you're going to spend at each winery, where you're going to have lunch, that your day probably will be of a better experience than if you were just haphazardly looking around on a map trying to figure out where you want to go here and there.
Yeah, I always tell people to go visit the Loudoun County Tourism website, and then they put together a nice, like the winery tours, the wine trail maps and everything for people to look at, and it gives a little bit of information.
Dave, another great idea for people too is actually to call one of the vineyards. And I get calls weekly. Where should I, you know, I'm starting with Loudoun Valley, where should I go next? And who better to talk to than us? We know the driving times, probably we haven't memorized. We know the mileage because we have it on our GPS. So we can actually help guide people to the next winery that's the closest and maybe help plan their trip just a little bit better.
Plus we know basically what facilities each of us have. Oh, so-and-so has a nice place for lunch, or you can get this kind of food over at Bluemont, or they have dessert wines here, or they have late harvest wines, or some Spanish varietals here, or so a call to the vineyard ahead of time can really
Save you more time on the
save you
internet.
more time, right?
I found what makes Loudoun County so successful in the wine industry is really just 3 things. The scenery. When you come out, Loudoun County is just a beautiful country. Great foliage in the fall, mountains, the rolling hills, everything. Second, it's how when people come out here, it's how they're treated. It's when you come into a tasting room and they feel at home, they feel comfortable, they're very happy. And 3, it's the excellent wine quality. I mean, those 3 things, I've noticed, are the main reasons why people come out here.
And the other thing is that after they come out, when they return to their homes, they can take a little bit of that memory with them.
Yeah.
They can buy that case of wine and they have 12 memories, and anytime they want to relive that memory, when they go over to have dinner at a friend's house, they can take a bottle and share it with their friends and say, let me tell you about the wonderful experience I had in Loudoun County at Bluemont Vineyards or Hidden Croft or wherever. There's so many experiences in Loudoun County, but they get to take a little bit of that experience home with them and repeat it.